My dear sisters and brothers, let us begin with this sentence which is so important. We shall try and live this today. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Where should our treasure be, and who is our treasure? Jesus is our treasure. Why? Because in Jesus everything subsists. Because we are part of Jesus. And because Jesus has a plan for me, each one individually. We cannot live apart from Him. If we do, we sin. But when we sin, remember, we are putting Him into trouble. Because He cannot separate Himself from us. And that is why when we sin, when we do things on our own, the evil one also begins to work in us and takes us away from Him. And then we tie ourselves in knots, and then He is also knotted up. So He has to suffer for us, and then He sets us free, provided we go back to Him and say, I'm sorry, Lord. So He is our treasure. If you want to be successful, then you cannot have success apart from Him. For us who are in Him, we are each one uniquely gifted by Him. And that gift is to be given to Him so that He can make use of it and we cooperate fully with Him. He has chosen each one of us for a particular work in His body, and that is what we must be. And so, my dear sisters and brothers, let us begin to discover who we all are. How do we know it? Whatever we are doing, we shall do 100% through union with Jesus. And then He will reveal things to you. And I'll tell you one thing, it simply starts increasing and multiplying. I don't want to elaborate on that, but I want you to know that for St. Paul, Jesus was really his treasure. First, the law was his treasure. Then he realized, not the law, it is the person of Jesus, God Himself, who is my treasure. And so when he gave himself totally to Jesus, he wanted Him to be proclaimed. And for this, he became weak. Otherwise, he was strong and ready to take everyone to the prison, to beat them up and finish them off. But now he became weak in the sense that he was ready to take anything to make Jesus known. And he says, if anyone wants to boast, I want to boast of my weakness. I cannot even do this, but only Jesus can do it through me. I have suffered lots, more than anyone, for the good. And so I've suffered for the treasure that Jesus is in my life. And so, my dear sisters and brothers, let this be very clear to our eyes. For what we see clearly, for that we will respond accurately. And this is what Joseph Cafasso was, a young priest in Italy. He was born in 1811 and he died in 1860. He came from a very peasant family, but right from the time he was young, he was blessed. He was gifted. He was very intelligent, very humble, very outgoing, reaching out to others. At 22, he became a priest. And he was the prefect in the seminary. And soon he became a professor of moral theology. And soon after that, he became the rector of the place. But he was such an exemplary person that everyone could see in him an inspiration. And therefore, when he died, he was called the pearl of the Italian clergy. And who drew most inspiration from him was Don Bosco. John Bosco was a disciple of his when he was studying in the seminary in Torino, that is in Trent, in Piedmontese. So he inspired him. He was a very good confessor. Everyone came to him, the princes, the kings, the government people, the clergy, the bishops, popes, everyone came to him because he was such a man full of God. And therefore, he really treasured Jesus and made Jesus known and loved by everyone. So, my dear sisters and brothers, today when we look at the heart of Jesus, let us ask him to take us fully into him and make us what we should be. Let him truly be the treasure of our life. From today onwards, I'm going to add more things to our preparation for the exposition of St. Francis Xavier. It's going to be next year, but I want to start the preparations now. I've already begun to do the prayer in the morning at 5 o'clock. So those of you will not be able to come here, but you can watch it on your YouTube. It's already there. It goes from 5 o'clock in the morning right up till 6:30. We will add a little more time as we go on, but this is what we have reached right now. Every day it will be there. And also, I'm going to give a blessing with the relics of St. Francis Xavier with the psalm of the day, so that all of us may benefit from the blessings that we will get through him, through his intercession. We all are focusing on the exposition. We will ask him to bless us. And for this moment, let us take our hands together, place them together, keep our back straight, close your eyes, and experience the breath filling us from our toes right up to our head. And we emptying it all out, and all that is good, bad, ugly within us. And when we take the next breath, Jesus has cleansed us of all that. The good he will give us back to us multiplied, and many other good things he will add to it. Let's experience that goodness of the Lord. Let him truly be the treasure of our life.